welcome all to my YouTube. I don't post a lot here, but this is my first ShadowVerse video, right? Usually I've always posted a lot of Hand of the Gods content, a lot of memes and all that stuff, but like I said, I am expanding into ShadowVerse. There's actually a new expansion coming out, so I thought I'd just this is just based off their Twitter. You can find this on their Twitter, and we're just gonna go over the cards just a little bit. I'll give my very brief thoughts because there's quite a bit of them. I want to make a relatively short video so you guys aren't, like chilling here waiting. So we're just gonna kind of go through it pretty quickly. Starting off, I'm just gonna go from newest to oldest, and we'll probably go through the majority of them. We're definitely gonna we'll probably stop here. We'll go through the majority of these and my thoughts on them. Okay. To begin, one of the more newer cards were released. Murderk. Like some big thick dude. Gotcha. Fanfare. Give your leader the following effects. Followers cannot be played from your hand. Whenever you play a spell, you draw a card. Whenever you play an amulet, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. This effect lasts until the follower leaves the arena. Murderk is an interesting card because it's not inherently good because that cost is really, really high. Right? Because the whole idea is if you want this bonus effect, you'll probably be able to play Murderk and then play like 2 spells max. However, it's worth being said there's a couple of classes that will be able to draw him out of the deck, but then the favorite won't activate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Murderk's that great. It's gonna be hard to create this effect lastingly, right? Unless you're able to somehow play him and you have a bunch of 0 or 1 cost spells, something I'm not thinking of, and you're able to do this. Then this effect can be quite powerful. But again, usually you're like playing Murderk, and then you're playing like an amulet. You're playing something small, and then you're getting this bonus effect. Now, a 7-mana 7/7 is not terrible. It's like pretty good. It's pretty fair. It's fairly statted. It's just again, the effect is relatively hard to pull off. So I'll probably give this card out of a 10. 10 being like busted AF, 1 being unplayable. This is probably like a 5. Like it's not terrible, but it's not great, and it's probably not gonna be played unless there's some secret synergy I'm missing. Witch of Foresight. Put a random spell from your deck into your hand. This is really quite good, especially for Runecraft, right? Because this, as we know, anything that draws a card from your deck, a very specific type of card from your deck, is generally quite powerful. And as you see with Witch of Foresight, it's a 2-mana, it's a 2-drop, so it's gonna be loaded. It's gonna be easy to get. So as we said before, I like this card a lot, and I think it'll be quite good. I think it's probably like a 7 or 8. I think this card's quite good. I think we'll probably see a good amount of play because even as a random spell from your deck, you're still drawing a spell from your deck, and this could be good if you're like top decking it late game. You're like, okay, and you're trying to just remove cards from your deck in order to try to get to the meat of it. Now, I want to also mention another thing is we don't know where Runecraft is going to be because Daria is leaving, right? So there's some speculation, obviously, but again, I do think a card like Witch of Foresight is just very versatile, and I think it's a very powerful card. And is it busted? No. Is it good? Yes. So I think this is probably a 7 out of 10. Dragonclad Blademaster. We see a lot of blades in Dragoncraft, especially in this expansion. Anyways, gain 1/1 and Bane if Overflow is active for you. This one's not that great. This one I don't think like some people probably argue with me. I don't think this one's that great because okay, so 3-mana 2/3 is a pretty blech stat line as you've seen. Like at least from my play experience, the 2/3 stat lines don't really get anywhere. Like you play it and then it usually is killed, traded off perfectly, and then your opponent gains a lot of advantage. And the 1/1 and Bane is nice, right? But again, like it's a 3-mana 3/4 Bane, right? It's not that bad. But at the same time, a naked 3-mana 2/3 is usually pretty garbage. I don't know. This card's weird. My waifu is crap. I love my waifu. What are you talking about? Little bitch. Get back here, little bitch. Anyways, I'm probably giving this like a 6. A 6 to a 7. Because, again, like, I don't think Dragoncraft needs a whole lot of Banes. But I'd have to also check, see what's rotating out. But so, I mean, overall, just in straight up card quality, this is like a 6. It's not that great, I don't think. Again, but gaining Bane, that could be pretty good. Because, yes, a 3 mana 3/4 with Bane is very good, but if you're playing it on curve, Blademaster is complete garbage. But if you're playing him off curve, I think he's all right. So probably counting for that, he's like a 6.8 then. He's almost a 7, but not quite there in my opinion. Master Samurai. 3 mana 2/3, as you were saying before, is not exactly the best stat line, but fanfare. Enhance 6, gain 2/2, can attack 2 times per turn. Now, playing... This is kind of like the poor man's Levi, but you're only board clearing. Like, I think Samurai is good, right? Because it's a 6 mana 4/5, and I love the 4/5 stat line. I've already been over that. That can attack multiple times, which sounds great. Sounds great. But the way I see it is, you're usually, if you were to play this card, you'd be at turn 6, you'd be evolving, and then you would have what, a 6/7. Yeah, 6/7. That'd be a big threat on board. I don't think this card's that great because, again, you're not playing him on curve, and having a card as sword that you're not playing on curve and just sitting in your hand is kind of awkward. And then especially when his effect is good, but it's not like amazing. It's not like Amazeballs. Like, this is, it doesn't have Storm. It can't attack face. So one would argue, you know, like, you're just clearing. Which, and I guess in Swordcraft's case, that could be very valuable, like, if you're trying to push more damage to face. But, I mean, I think this card will see more play than Blademaster, probably. No, I have to even take that back. I don't know. Because even just thinking of it, this stat line is so awful. It's like a 6. This is worse than this, I think. On to the next one. We're trying to plow through these. I kind of I touched on these yesterday on stream, but ward, if this follows attack defense is increased, evolve, storm ward. So his evolved card is actually pretty cool. I'll point out that. But White Vanara. So it's like a 7. Effectively, it'd be like a 7 mana charge, a 7 mana 5/5 charge, which is really good. And he also keeps the ward. I think White is in Forest. I think he's great for like pushing late game damage. And then also the flexibility of this ward is also really nice. I think Vanara is probably like a 7.5. I think he's good. Silver Chain, deal 1 damage to both leaders and deal 2 damage to random enemy follower finishes active for you. So a 2 mana 2/2 isn't bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Like, we see a lot of these. His fanfare is reasonable, especially if Vengeance is active, meaning you're trying to chunk down your opponent. This one's like a 7. This is good. Heroic Dragon Slayer. Transform a Dragoncraft card in your hand to Dragon's Handspur. A 2 mana 3/1. This stat line is either a complete hit or a complete miss. Usually it's a complete miss, but it can have those options of complete hit. Let's see if then Dragon Handspur. Deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. Draw a card if overflow is active for you. I don't know about this. This one's pretty interesting. So 3-1 stat line isn't particularly great by any means, right? But like this isn't half bad. Like if you're playing it off curve when Overflow is active, that's quite good. 4 mana, deal 3 damage, and draw a card. That's like insane. However, I mean, you also get to choose the card. This one's probably like a 6.5. Like, I mean, actually no, it's probably like a 7 because this stat line is Garbo. But if you're running like some sort of like control list with ramp, I guess this could work. And it's worth mentioning it does synergize with the other cards that we'll be getting to a little bit later. So this is like it's like a 7 out of 10. Here we go. Got excited for this one, Jack. Got excited for this one. Sari Dwen. Eternity Hunter. Hashtag waifu material right here, boys. Look at this. This is like Yandere waifu number 1301. Hashtag worth. Fanfare. Choose either Eternal Potion or Instant Potion into your hand. Easy. Whenever this follower attack, recover 1 play point, right? And then we'll go into these in a second. The stat line 4/5. I love the stat line. I've always loved the stat line of a 4/5. It's juicy. It's thick. It's usually pretty hard to kill. And then it also has a good amount of damage. I love the 4/5 stat line. I always have. In all the card games I ever play. But a 6 mana 4/5. You know, it's not amazing, but you get to choose Eternal or Instant. Now the key here is that. You're gonna evolve her, right? You're just gonna evolve her, and then she becomes a 5 mana 6/7. That's juicy. That's really juicy. That's like hella juicy. And then not to mention, she also has this. So she's like a soft taunt, and so soft taunt means a card that you just have to kill. If you don't kill it, you're gonna get punished severely. And so she's a soft taunt, which is awesome. And then you also have this option. So she's either a 10 mana play or she's a 10 mana evolve play, or she's a and you get this bonus, right? Or she's like on 6 you play her, and then on 7 you do this, which is the next one. So first, Eternal Potion, spicy. Reanimate 10. Now a lot of people are just saying this is like a Zeus synergy, and that's totally right. But, I mean, hell. That's spicy. And that's really powerful. Especially when you combine other effects with additional burial rights. So, that's good. Not so much. The card art's dope on this one. I love the card art. Like, I love this like whole like blue skeleton. And then she's like standing. Like, I think it's really cool. And then obviously you have Instant Potion. Deal 2 damage to enemy, followed burial right, deal 5 instead. So, what we're going to see is a lot of synergy with multiple Saradins. So what I think is going to happen is you're probably going to have a Saradin deck, right? You'll probably have 2 or 3 of these dudes, and they all have some other burial rights. And even though Memphis is rotating out, they're adding support for more burial rights, so I'm excited. Overall, I think this card's like an 8. I think it's good. I think it's really good. Probably like an 8.5. Grasshopper Conductor. Put a random follower with X attack from your deck into your hand. X equals the number of cards you played this turn, including this card. This is good. Because this is very specified control in how you want to do this. If you have an 8-drop, if you like, it's very specified in, especially late game, right? Late game is extremely valuable. And then remember, at its base, it's a 3 mana 2/1 draw card. That's good. It has a very high ceiling. I think Grasshopper is probably a 7 out of 10, easily. Swift Gate Okami. Forest as well. When you play another follower, give it Storm, then return this follower to your hand. Really interesting synergies. I'm excited to see what people do with this. It's just pretty much like a 5 mana give Storm. It's like a 5 mana spell of giving Storm, which is quite powerful, I think. And obviously the 4/4 stat line is not going to last very long, but again, it seems like they're really kind of pushing Forest in a very aggressive way this expansion. which I'm interested to see what synergies we come up with as a community, obviously, with Okami. But like I was saying, I think Okami is probably she's interesting because you're never playing it alone, so you're never playing it on curve, but it has a lot of late game potential. So I'm gonna give it a solid 6.9 out of 10. I think it's like on the cusp of being really, really good, but it's like it's not quite there though, because you're not playing it on 5, right? So it's a bad 5 drop. But then on top of that, it has very, very powerful late game potential. This is a weird one. But like I said, I want to give it I'll just give it a 7. I think it's good. 7 out of 10. Easy. Move on to the next one. Servant of the Spellgrove Forest as well. When this follower attacks an enemy follower, the enemy follower loses the ability to attack the next turn. Really good. 2 mana 2/2. We see a stat line all the time. It's a fairly normal stat line, but that's not what we're looking at here, right? We're looking at the when this follower attacks. If you're going first, this card is absolutely quite powerful, especially if they. Well, I mean, it's trading when it goes first, right? But when it doesn't go first, it's like a fantastic anti-Heavenly Aegis. Is a fantastic soft taunt, and this is actually just gonna stop, I would say, a lot of like big, like a lot of Dragoncraft, honestly, because like when you have these super big dudes and you're like, crap, I can't deal with these guys, you try to smork, all you have to do is play this dude, and then your opponent has to kill it immediately. Otherwise they're gonna lose the ability to attack. So I think Servant's quite powerful, probably a 7.3 out of 10. He's obviously he's better than cards like this, I think, but at the same time, he's not like insane. Holy Bear Knight, Swordcraft, Ward, Enhance 5/5, gain 2/2. I don't really know why you're giving Swordcraft Ward. That seems kind of weird. And then a 5 mana 4/4 taunt isn't bad. It's like a 6 out of 10. This is kind of like a filler card, I think. Knower of History. Put a prime artifact into your deck. Put a prime artifact from your deck into your hand. Now, it's worth mentioning, which is really effing cool. This is a 2 mana 2/2, so it already has great stats, right? But this is going to play around with your freaking deck. We'll call it deck count. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's going to play around with that, which is really powerful, especially because you can also draw it. Now, when you take a look at this card's pretty mean, pretty nasty. 7 mana 5/5. At the start of your next turn, summon a prime artifact. It's infinite. It's infinite. So if you were doubting Portalcraft's ability to go to the late game, this little messy says otherwise. Overall, Knower of History, probably like a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's maybe like a 1 of or a 2 of, but again, the ability to go infinite is quite powerful usually. That's why, for example, Carrot is so powerful in a lot of instances, because, you know, you can go infinite with it. So you're always getting a body on the board. And a 5/5, especially like it's like obviously it's a late game card. You don't really want to be playing it like on curve, but like if you were to somehow like reduce its cost and play it, this is intimidating. This is an infinite 5/5. Obviously, it's a bit slower for infinite 5/5, but it's still pretty good. It's very. Stay. Gotta find it. Take it or I do. Feels bad. Let me go back. Here we go. Okay. So like I was saying, now it's good. So like I don't think it's as good, obviously, as like Eternity Hunter, but it's a 1. 7.5 out of 10, I think. The only reason why a person potentially would not run it is this is like, again, the stat line isn't great. and it's an investment. So if Portalcraft is finding that it can't get to that late game to play this type of unit and go infinite, you know, it may be kind of difficult to do that. It's like we've seen this a lot of the times. Where it becomes difficult to try to go the, like, when you have a almost like a bulky card that can go infinite, it's difficult to try to make it work. And then obviously they're also going over these cards, and then these, and I guess this, and then that. Okay, let's speed this up. I didn't realize there was so much. Lindworm, this one's pretty interesting. So if you play 10 non-followers and 10 play points, you can choose Virtuous or Iniquitous. Virtuous being 10, restore 5, draw 5, 10. I mean, it's all right. You know, I mean, it's really Iniquitous, right? Storm, and you're pretty much dealing 10 damage to face. I think, especially with cards like we mentioned before, I think Iniquitous is gonna be good, or I guess Lindworm is gonna be good. So this is probably like I don't think it's as good as Eternity though. I really don't think it's as good as her or Saradwin. So this is probably a 7.8 out of 10. Because Saradwin is just she can be played in all types of decks. If you may not be running a Lindworm in your Dragoncraft deck, because this is pretty hard to do in some instances. It seems pretty nutty, and I get that, but 10 non-follower cards, right? Like, a lot of the Dragoncraft decks, especially when you really think about it, are primarily follower based. So getting in those, especially because they're also losing Draconic Fervor and a lot of the other ramp, so this may be kind of more difficult to pull off. So I kind of see a I mean, I guess at base it's just a 10-man 10/10, which is not bad at all, you know. So I think it's maybe run as a one of in a non-standard, in a non-continuous deck, or like a non-centered around Lindworm deck. But I think it will be still, like, I think it'll probably be played in a majority of Dragoncraft decks, just because of Iniquitous and how powerful it is. Awesome. Okay, Mysterion Brune. If you have 6 play points, you play this card. It's Mysterion Whiteworm or Mysterion Blackworm. Whiteworm. Fanfare. Mysterious Circle in your hand. Okay, 6 mana, 5/6. Give all Mysterion spells, draw 1 card. A lot of Mysterion's energy. This is good. Mysterion Blackworm, 6/5. Put a Mysterion Missile into your hand. Give all Mysterions deal +1 damage to the enemy leader. Smorky, 2/2, like we said before, and has ability to go 6. This is good. I think this card's pretty good. 7 out of 10. Trying to speed up here. Devil of the Gaps. Put a Blade of Light or Blade of Dark into your hand. 3 mana, 3/2. This style line is much better than a 2/3. I just want to point out. Blade of Light. Give a follower -2/+2 and ward. Or Blade of Dark. Give a follower +2/0. Then remove all effects from that follower except for those that change this card's attack and defense. That's interesting. The ability to give ward is quite impactful, and I think this is just a good card. 7.4 out of 10. Rooney, Destiny's Bard. Fanfare. Choose either Prophecy of Boons or Prophecy of Doom and put into your hand. Members follow attack spell boost with cards in your hand. That's good. Very good. 4 mana 2/3 isn't great, but when you get this busted AF effect, it's really awesome. Prophecy of Boons, draw 2 cards. If this card has been spell boosted at least 5 times, recover 2 play points. So it becomes a 0 mana, draw 2 cards. That's awesome. Although you're probably not gonna really do it, for being honest. Like a 2 mana, draw 2 cards is already so powerful. Prophecy of Doom. Give the enemy leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, deal 7 damage to your leader. Subtract 1 for each of this card. That's pretty spooky. This is a late game, like, pretty much destroy your face. That's a lot of damage. So what's interesting is this is kind of like taking the place of a Daria in a way, right? If you play Rooney and then you're just gonna spell boost the hell out of your hand, right? And if you can play multiple Roonies as well, remember, they're not living pretty much more than 3 turns. So in some ways, this is a really, really interesting ultimatum. And I've used this term in other card games before. An ultimatum is when a card or something says, this will happen if you don't do this in time, right? So Rooney is like an ultimatum card. It's extremely powerful. Because again, if you spell boost this enough, and you just run like, it pretty much takes the place of Daria, then you just play this, and then you just sit back, run some heal, do whatever you can, chill, and then just wait for your opponent to die. Because, you know, they can't survive more than a handful of turns with Prophecy of Doom on their face. Overall, this one's like a 9 out of 10. This one's really, really good. Because you're really never... See, what you're going to do is you're going to play one... You're going to play one Rooney on 4. And then you're going to play multiple other Roonies, but you're going to be playing Prophecy of Boons. You're going to do one... You're going to run 3 Roonies. 2 of them giving you Boon. The third, or the first one giving you Doom. This one's a 9 out of 10. It's absolutely insane. I think that was actually it. That's all the ones I really want to go over today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to stop by my Twitch, twitch.tv/AComcastEmployee. And I will talk to y'all later.